when I suddenly discovered that I was coming to this retreat, which was a surprise in one, very last minute, I said, I, I like to talk. So here I am. And then I thought to myself, I could use a card for the talk. It means I wasn't just going to use a call on a treat. I was going to, another call, kind of a helpful call. And there were signs that this was a helpful call. Uh, one of the signs was that years ago, uh, we had a retreat at which we were instructed, I think, to pick our favorite koan. There was like, I think it was sort of a leadership thing. It's a big room. I remember it clearly, even where I was sitting. And when we were given this instruction, uh, call it? I don't know what you call it. What koan? I've never heard of koans. What is a koan? And luckily, one made its way through. So I was like, oh, okay. And this was the con. Case one of the Blue Clip record. You all know Udama's Vast Emptiness. And I'll read it and then tell you more about why I thought this was such a good idea. It starts out, we have Bodhidharma meeting with Emperor Wu, and sort of before the formal koan, Emperor Wu, who was a longtime practitioner of Buddhism and does many good works in the world, says to Bodhidharma, I've done many good works. I've named all kinds of lay people. I've given lots of money, whatever I've done a lot of good things. What merit have I earned? And Bodhidharma says, no merit. So, Emperor Wu says, oh, well, then what is this Buddhism all about? What is the first principle of the holy teaching that I think I've been living my life by? And Bodhidharma says, vast emptiness, nothing whole. And the Buddha goes, who is this standing before me? Who are you? And Bodhidharma said, I do not know. And the emperor did not understand this. Like, what do you mean you don't know? You have no authority. Why? Like, good. Maybe I still have merit. Right? The emperor did not understand this. What do you mean you don't know who you are? And so Bodhidharma leaves. He says, I don't understand. And Bodhidharma leaves. It goes away. And later on, the emperor asked his magical assistant, Your Majesty, do you know who that was? Oh, no, I'm sorry. The Duke, his assistant, said, Your Majesty, do you know who that was? Excuse me. And the emperor said, no. I don't know. And the Duke, his assistant, says, that was the Bodhisattva Avalokiteshvara, conveying the Mayan seal of the Buddha. The emperor felt regret and wanted to send a messenger to urge Bodhidharma to return. But the Duke said, there is no use in sending a messenger, even if everyone in the country went after him. So when I started, I was sitting with this koan. I was friendly koan. And at first, I was sitting with, who are you? Who am I? I don't know. I don't know who I am. And as I sat with it, I felt so good. I felt like I got the image of the Buddha sitting under the Bodhi tree, taking his seat. He said, "This is great. I'm going to give this to everybody else. This is wonderful." And sort of in the mix of all of this, I had other ideas, things to say and things to share and things to do. And I did a lot of preparation. I bothered the sisters at Santa Sabina here a couple times. I did a lot of printing, spent a couple bucks. Had Kathy help me. Eleanor at Todd had to help get a little attachment for music in case I wanted to use it. So it was like, seriously, lots of work stuff. Host. Then, and I don't know exactly when, but it all started to fall apart. Big way. Had this experience before. It's very disturbing. It's like my job is to keep talking. I really want to. And one thing, it's quite a serious matter, actually. It's challenging. And it got to the end of the day yesterday. It was still true. I seemed to have nothing. Although I did remember, realize, oh, all that stuff that I collected came in handy. You don't smoke. Perhaps didn't come to mind. But it didn't seem useful for my dog. So I thought, I'll go to bed. I'll get some good rest. I'll have a dream, maybe. Something will come to me in the morning. And I could not fall asleep. And at first I thought, oh, I'm worried about the talk. I'm bummed. You know, what if I'm a loopy? What are people to think? Whatever. This is such a bummer. I'm so disappointed in myself. And then I was like, no, no, no. That's not all it's like. Something is taking me over. Like something is, and I don't know what this is. I don't know at all. I thought of Todd saying, let it have you. I was like, fine, you can have. uh, What is going on? You know? And I, I really didn't. I don't think I got any sleep. Um, it was so strange, so strange. And I do not know who I am. Ah, something made me pick this con. I do not know what's going on. I do not know. I do not know what I'm going to talk about. Maybe I won't talk about it. And then I sometime this morning, I asked, like, okay, is there anything here? And what came to me was interesting to me was do not discount your life. So there I am, not knowing who I am. And something points to all these things that sometimes I think I am, like everything in my life. And then I thought about the con Like the relationship, you can't have one without the other. The not knowing in the mystery. You also have to totally have your life. And if I discount my life, or there's some piece of my life that's not okay, I have regret. Like the emperor, maybe I feel shame. So that makes me want to make myself look better, maybe in front of people, or maybe makes me not be able to face them, not be able to look in the mirror sometimes. All those things also keep me separated from the deep mystery. So where what I wanted to do is actually just talk a little bit about my life. And something in Tessa's talk last night I thought was really wonderful was when she talked about stepping into the inconceivable in her house with some workers who came, right? Nothing holy, vast emptiness, photographers were miraculous, and that the Tao being everywhere, no. The universe that we talked about, the universe sort of opening a path for us. And it seems that it does, that there's just no controlling where it's going. And for me, it's miraculous just that I'm sitting here today. Because in my work, I would normally not be able to. Because I work with grapes that get harvested, and it happens around this time. Usually, you know, it would still be going on, and I would have to be working 24/7. And the harvest stopped the earliest this year it's ever stopped in like 20 years, like by a lot. He didn't do it for me. He might have done it for my, our vineyard manager. I'm kidding. He didn't do it for something, but he also, my vineyard manager has really serious leukemia, and he was going for treatment, and he really did not want harvest to be happening. Um, it's not like, oh, it happened because. It's just like, oh, there's a path going. It wasn't so difficult. Yeah. Uh, my life, I have a partner in my life that I met decades ago. We're not married. He's straight to be two. Um, but I found him for mysterious ways that people that I liked and respected most in the world started telling me I should go work at this little company in Oakland. I had never heard of it. They're like, you should go there. You belong there. And this is where Ken worked. It was his company. And we got together. And one of the things that he's done for me over my life is make it possible for me to practice it. Not only that, but probably he was a big part why I met John, because he was interested in not going around to all these different places. Who knows? Maybe something else would happen. Would change my life. That's just all one. And so, I saw a miracle. Mr. Bought a house recently. Not a big house, but a house. Given where we were, it's an absolutely insane miracle. Nobody ever could have predicted if they looked at our bank account 6 years ago and our massive debt. that we would walk any house anywhere. And part of I'm telling you the particular things about my life in a way because it hasn't always been easy for me to recognize and honor the blessings in my life, you know. And not only that, but all pieces of my life. I can't have any piece of it without the rest of it. So I want to bless my life. So just talking about some things and saying, hey, these are blessings that I have. And even some things that are really painful. In my life, I've had three occurrences where uh, people came to me years and years after something happened to apologize for having been part of something that's difficult that happened to me. That was like so amazing because it's like, oh, I'm not crazy. This I one time took a mushroom trip with somebody, and I was in college, and it was a mistake, and I knew it immediately, and I just wanted to leave this guy, so I did. Left him. I was all by myself. I had memories of wandering around the town of Berkeley, like for hours and hours and hours, looking for somebody that I could kind of talk to get me through this. And I just had this feeling every door I knocked on is. And it was such a weird, the experience stayed with me like way out. Couldn't have been anything in my system. Within that person, a few years ago, emailed me and said, I'm so sorry. I shouldn't have tried to make you do that. Like, how do you know? I never talked to him again. I never saw him again. So I didn't know he knows. I had a few others, people going through Alcoholics Anonymous and paying back or and be like, it's insane. Took for hours in high school. My parents moved to California and I lived in Connecticut. And I did not want to go to California. My parents were not together. They had gone at the same time. But I just would do anything to stay in the town that I was in. So I used to go around. It was not unlike that drug experience where everybody I met, I said, "Did you have somebody live in your house? Could I live in your house with you? Do you know anybody who would take some of that?" I mean, absolutely everybody. And I came really close to living in a place with an old woman, where I would have been in a walk-through kind of room. We adopted really well. Luckily, that didn't happen. And a girl who was at my bus stop, uh, I asked her because I asked everybody. And lo and behold, she got in touch and said, you could stay at our house. We live just down the street. And one of the features I always remember about that, there really wasn't a room that was my room. No. So they had three kids, and two of them were off of college. And the middle kid, there was an older girl, a middle boy, and then this younger girl who was still older than me who was at my bus stop. And um, I stayed in the room of the boy, and the wallpaper was lions and tigers, you know, and it was all his books and all his stuff. And when he came home, I went in the basement. Uh, and I used to do a fair amount of drinking in those days and other things. And I remember I would come home at night, get my room, and I would know I would know I was where I was supposed to be by the lions and tigers. It's like, okay. So every life has millions and zillions and trillions of these kinds of stories and pieces. But it's all beautiful, even the parts that hurt. They connect us. When I talk to people, interviewers, sometimes, things come up for people like, "Oh, wow, I know what that feels like." It's not a bad thing. Yeah. You don't need to regret anything in your life. It's, it's already done. Arguing with reality, if you do, as little said, that's fine. Doesn't help you be present. Doesn't help you go there. Doesn't help. Now I can say that like, oh, it's so easy. Yeah, whatever. Not how. But at least that stuff counts. There, um, in this picture book, we have a very wall now. Oh, secret of the Song of the Grass Huts. And if you know it, I'm sure. And he talks about moving away, to be in tune with the way, in tune with the Tao. Here's what you do. Got some instructions. And in the end, it says, meet the ancestral teachers. Be familiar with their instructions. Find grasses to build a hut and don't give. Don't let go of hundreds of years and relax completely. Open your hands and walk in a thousands of words, myriad interpretations are only to free you from obstruction. You have access to so many wise words, but like take them in. They're not for later or somebody else. Let me tell you something about your own life. Oh. If you want to know the undying person in the hut, don't think that you're not in this skin bag here now. Right? And because it's right next door, Lin Ji, one of my favorites, what are you looking for? This person of the way who depends on nothing, here before my eyes now listening to the dharma. Your brightness shines clearly. You have never lacked. to use something. He's not saying it just to write some words. Mm-hmm. Okay. Don't know that I have much else to say. I'm not going to face about it. What you really have to do is be interested and pay attention. And then it helps if you have a con, because a con can do so much work for you. You just can't ask it to make sense. And you can't ask it to fix you, the you that you need. You want to belong, and he'll work. That's it. There's nothing that doesn't matter, people. Mary Oliver's, the spirit likes to dress up like this, and fingers, and toes. That's inconceivable. It's also real cool. No one you know. Sometimes we don't. So say what's here right now. When Tess was talking, I was thinking, hop. So about the whole stepping off the pole. Oh, it's like, and when do we step off the pole? Now. There's no other time ever step off. So if you were listening and think, I'm going to get to that, I'll be doing that. I like that. That sounds like a good idea. You have to do it now. Somehow.